handle it no more, man.
Right. And we talk about the mental health aspect, and there's different things too. There's also the domestic abuse and all that's happening inside of those homes that is also adding to that type of stress.
And the ones, to me, the killer that we don't talk about as much are the kids, man.
The kids. We have no idea what these kids are going through.
And I'm telling you, man, a lot of these kids are resilient, but don't underestimate the pressure, the mental stress, the long-term effect this will have on the minor and the juvie.
Right, that lack of interaction. Killer for them, man.
The lashing out. You start seeing a lot of these kids will start to lash out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these kids their attention span will not be there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine trying to open up a school and push these kids back to school right now because their minds are in overload.
Yeah, it's true.
And where are the help for these kids?
Right.
Where is the help? Where do we find help for our children? Especially at a large mass.
I have no idea, and that's a great point because even kids like our son's age is 7. They're not just dealing with, oh my goodness, I'm home by myself, I have to homeschool, but they are also aware of the disease.
That's right.
Yeah, and sometimes we forget that they are watching TV too. They are listening. They are hearing.
They're being influenced by it, and they're noticing that mommy has no money. Mommy's stressing out, so I can't get what I need. I can't get what I want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that trickles down, man. These kids are smart enough to see what's going on.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And again, if you mentioned, this leads to other aspects, the domestic violence in the house, which is also an adverse effect on these kids. You know what I mean? Not just having enough food. We're not even talking about these kids just getting the 3 squares a day.
Yeah.
Like, how many of our kids are struggling right now?
And what are they eating when they do eat?
You know what I'm saying?
Because the hardest thing to get when things are hard is healthy food.
Healthy food.
So what are they eating? What are they putting in their bodies? That's a whole other story.
You sit down and think about this, man. It makes you sad.
Yeah.
It makes you very sad. It makes me... Man, you wish you could do a whole lot more because you know the long-term effects of this situation. And now these landlords are being pressured to kick people out. I just think they just dropped the ball in a lot of ways. They did good in some ways, but man, for average Joe, for average person, man, this might be the last straw. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. If you don't have anything, a job, you don't have enough food on your table, you don't have no one to lean on for assistance, how do you pick up the pieces? Where do you go from here? Who's there for some form of assistance? Like, where do you go? And that is a question we all, as Belizeans, has to answer. Because we cannot be oblivious to that.
Right.
And we just cannot assume that people have it.
Right.
And that's a lot of assumption from a lot of people. But you look like you okay, you functioning okay.
Right.
But where do you go? How do you pick up the pieces? Like, seriously, where do you get a job?
And what kind of job do you get?
If you could find a job, you take anything. But where do you get a job? Where do you generate money? Now the government is talking about cutting everything. He has to cut. Austerity measures is here.
So the assistance that were being given out to the people,
it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So where do you go if you are, this individual? You don't own your home. You're renting. You have a couple kids. You know what I mean? No food in your pantry. You lost your job. There's no male figure around to assist. There's no mom and dad that you can go and cry and lean on.
Well,
what do you do?
The community, we have to help, man. The community have to help as much as we can.
And this is what I'm saying. People have to be more sensitive. And in situations like that, you got to be, aware of it and just be ready to help each other out, man. Because no other time we need each other.
In that situation, you have to be able to ask for help too, and that willingness.
And that's the thing,
strip that pride away.
Because our culture,
we don't do that.
Our culture is don't talk about this that we talk about to start with,
Mm-hmm.
but our culture tend to look down or just completely omit people who tend to reach out for
But
help.
we have to stop that. You know, you have to reach out because yes, I can reach out, but if sometimes I don't know, and if you are introverted and just keeping everything to yourself, you're not asking for help, you're not seeking help, then it's hard for people to help you. So one of the things we want to put out there is if you're in a dire situation, ask for help.
Right.
You never know
but
who
where
can
do
help.
you ask for this help? Then you
Ask
have
a neighbor, ask a community, ask someone.
This is the flip side of it too. Then you have the law enforcement who, like are not the best trained. They're coming with the hammer on you,
Yeah.
treating you like you were less than a dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just talking to you and just treating you like this is what I'm saying. Do you see how this is escalating
The domino effect.
this is escalating to something that you're a walking time bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Then you watch the local news and it's always people talking down to you, and it's like you feel almost like you're not a human being.
Yeah. But we have to, I don't know, give some type of hope. You know, and I know it's a bad situation.
Yeah, we gotta
but
give hope, but we also gotta really describe the situations for those people, because the
we gotta
problem
be
is
realistic.
those people don't have a voice, and those people are crying out right now. They're dying for some type of assistance, whether it's communication, a hug, just somebody who show them that you care for them, man. That can make a difference in their life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And those people are the forgotten. You know what I mean? And those are the people I want to highlight, because we tend to always, talk about things on the surface. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I'm personally aware of people who are in these type of situations. There are people right now, man, going for days. Went for days without not eating food, man. Just drinking straight water. There's people right now with kids, they just lost their jobs. They were already on the margins
Right.
in regards to what they were getting from their job. Now they got fired from their job. They have absolutely nothing.
Right.
And it's like they don't know where else to turn or who to turn to. Then you watch your leaders, you know what I'm saying? They're talking about cutting everything. And it's like, again, I'm so done at talking or bashing these guys, because these guys are out of touch with what's going on with the people that they rely on for their votes.
Do you think they're out of touch?
I think they're out of. I think, man. Listen, man. Put it like this: these guys were in par for 12, 13 years. They squandered 12 to 13 years. They could have planned some type of planning. You cannot be in government responsible for that type of portfolio and don't plan for a rainy day. Don't have money set aside for a rainy day.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the Caribbean, where there's earthquakes, there's hurricanes every year, there's all type of natural disasters. You should have had people planning and set money aside. But what we have is a bunch of guys who, when things were okay, squander a lot of money. We just wasted a bunch of money on a convention for
Had
nothing.
no bearing on
No bearing on this. This is just completely waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Everybody was coming up. Everybody was, the bubbly was going. Everybody was happy. But no one seems to care about the regular Joe. No one seems to care about the regular guy who's already on the margins. Now you're telling these same people now who are on the margins, you're not going to have a job. I don't know when you'll be able to get your job. I'm going to put you on a curfew, and I'm going to charge you $5,000 for not wearing a mask. Now, what kind of nonsense is this, man? Now, again, I do understand some of the things that had to do with, because of the disease. But like they say, the cure cannot be worse than the disease itself.
Right. Right.
You know
The
what I'm saying?
effects can,
Yeah.
the long-lasting effects.
Exactly.
can-
So now you have a huge part of your population now who pretty much, I feel like they just are writing these people off. They're going to fall through the cracks.
We can't have that.
And we're talking about kids, man. That's the part that bothers me the most. We're talking about kids, man. Young kids. You know what I'm saying?
Again, I have to go back to outreach community programs. Communities have to get together.
There's no
and try to
community
help.
programs.
But they
Kim.
could be.
Kim.
There could be.
Kim, everybody's cash strapped.
Clint, we
A
cannot
lot of
do it
these
by
small
ourselves,
businesses,
though.
let me tell you, a lot of these small businesses who hire these folks to start with
Mm-hmm.
are out of money. They're about to go bankrupt. And the government is still telling these people they cannot open up until July 1st. Or if they do, it's on a go slow measure. Everybody's in line. Every special interest group is in line for some type of bailout, whether you're in transportation, hospitality, whether you're in the medical field, or in just public servant. You're lining up for some type of assistance from the government, and they don't have it because they squandered whatever resources they had when times were okay.
Right, right.
So how do you pick up the pieces, and how do you deal with these people that I'm talking about, the forgotten man, the man that no one talks about, the man who was already on the margins, the man who, who's been suffering their entire lives?
Well, I'm not sure what the answer is to that as to how you do it, but what I know is that we can't start having more of what happened this week. Right? We can't be losing our people and people being out there with no hope, thinking that taking their lives is a solution.
I mean, that's not an
either.
answer, man. Like I
I mean,
said,
that's
it's
an
life
extremity that
over
we
death.
can't get
But
to.
at the same time, where do these people go for the type of assistance that can mitigate? You can't have the blind lead the blind in this situation, and that's what you're asking people to do, and that's what I'm
No,
starting to
I'm
realize.
just trying to ask them,
You know what
if
I'm
you
saying?
have it and you can help, just help a little bit. If
And this is-
everybody who have a little bit can help,
And this is
we
what
can
I'm saying.
prevent some people from falling
And I
through
feel
the
like
cracks.
in these times, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. In these times, the one who have it are holding on tight to what they have because they're trying to squeeze as much as they have now to as long as they can, because they already know once that's gone,
What's coming down the pipe?
nothing's
Yeah.
coming back down the pike, so they will be without. So, like I stated before, basically what they're saying to a segment of the population, we're just going to write you off. And that is sad to me and unacceptable. And that's why I'm getting at. Because this is not a one-fits-all easy solution. This is not a, and what's so crazy about how these guys think? I listen to some of these politicians I know talking about. They have run up the debt, right? They run up the debt, put the people in this predicament.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're going at the mercy of these big institutions like the IMF, World Bank, and whatever lending institution they're going to for restructuring. So now you're at the mercy of these people. And once these people are involved with how they're going to restructure things, again, the small man is not counted or is not scheduled,
Right.
or is not part of that discussion
Right.
whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it's more cuts. It's more people losing their jobs, teachers with retrenchment. You know what I mean? So it's more hardship, more depression, more depression, more mental anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And what is how do we deal with this on a large scale? You know what I'm saying? I ain't no mental doctor, and I'm not going to try to play one up here.
Right.
But I could describe to you what I know to be real and what is coming. And I might not have the solutions that can fit everybody's personal situation right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, man. I think this is like no other time in our history of our country. We really need each other, man. We really need to look out for, when I say everybody, man. Forget status, forget what you have and what you don't have, forget your titles and
That's all I've been trying to say.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, we can try there, man, but it will still be tough.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we have young people now just want to clock out. They had enough.
Yeah.